AI-driven cyber attacks are becoming a real and persistent threat, so much so that OpenAI is pausing some frontier model training to beef up safety. Today on No BS AI Briefing, we'll dive into what this means for your products, look at how Anthropic is stepping up AI security, and unpack OpenAI's surprise deprecation of its agent builder. No BS AI Briefing brought to you by Proactive AI. Welcome back. I'm your host, Vikash Sharma, and this is where builders get straightforward AI news without the fluff. Alright, let's dive in. We've got a lot of high signal items this week, kicking off with a pretty significant warning from one of the biggest players. First up, OpenAI is sounding the alarm about persistent AI powered cyber attacks, and they're actually pausing some of their frontier model training to respond. According to The Guardian, on August 23rd, Chris Lehane from OpenAI warned that current models are already enabling these ongoing persistent attacks. He even suggested we'll need even more superior AI models to build adequate defenses, which is quite a statement. What's more, OpenAI has put a hold on training some of their most advanced frontier models. Sam Altman himself emphasized that safety is the top priority here, which tells you how serious they are taking this. They're even calling for mandatory national and international AI safety legislation, including pre-deployment testing for models. Now, for builders, this isn't just news, it's a wake-up call. It means you absolutely need to start planning for defense in depth strategies for any products that handle sensitive data or interact with your infrastructure. If you're building with AI, document your safety practices now, because pre deployment testing rules are likely coming down the pipeline. And while open source models can lower your costs, they also broaden the attacker's access to powerful tools. So you really need to assess those risk trade offs carefully. Next, Anthropic is launching a $35 million Defender Advantage fund, and they're integrating their advanced Mythos 5 model for enhanced security. This fund, announced via Medium on August 23rd, is specifically designed to offer API credits to open source maintainers who are working on security. Think of it as a way for Anthropic to empower the good guys in the fight against AI enabled threats. What's really interesting is that Claude Mythos 5, their security specialized model, is now integrated into Claude Security for enterprise customers, following a public beta that started on August 21st. The whole aim of this fund, as Anthropic puts it, is to tip the balance back toward defenders. So, for builders, especially those contributing to or relying on open source projects, this is a huge opportunity. Open source maintainers can now get free credits to automate vulnerability scanning and patching, which is a big win for overall ecosystem security. It also means that security specialized AI models are now being productized. So you should absolutely be testing these for things like vulnerability triage and validation in your own products. This move by Anthropic really signals that AI security is emerging as a core product category in its own right, not just a feature. Also, OpenAI is deprecating its agent builder with a full shutdown scheduled for November 30th, 2026. This news, reported by Kingi AI Launch Tracker on August 23rd, means that if you're using Agent Builder, you have a relatively tight 3-month migration window. OpenAI is directing users toward their Code First Agents SDK or the ChatGPT Workspace Agents as alternatives. This move reflects a broader shift within OpenAI and really across the industry towards governance focused code first agent frameworks. From a builder's perspective, this means you need to prioritize migrating any high value agents you have built using the agent builder. Don't wait until the last minute. This shift to code first frameworks isn't just about a tool going away, it's about improving governance, making debugging easier, and better ensuring compliance for your agent powered applications. Ultimately, it signals that AI agents are maturing, moving from more experimental no-code interfaces into more robust enterprise-grade infrastructure that requires code for serious deployment and management. And finally, a new company called Twin1 AI has emerged from stealth with a $20 million seed round to build worker digital twins. Via Media reported on August 23rd that this $20 million seed funding round was co-led by Aramco Ventures, Bessemer, and Tribeca VP. a pretty strong syndicate there. Twin One AI is focused on building AI agents that essentially replicate individual knowledge workers' workflows. Imagine having an AI twin that learns your specific way of working, your preferences, and your knowledge base to assist you or even act on your behalf on certain tasks. The funds they've raised are earmarked for developing their core technology and their go to market strategy. For builders, this is a clear signal that a distinct digital twin category for personalized enterprise agents is emerging beyond just general purpose assistants. It points to a growing trend towards per user workflow personalization in the enterprise AI space, moving beyond one size fits all solutions. And it's also another indicator that cross border capital like Aramco Ventures is actively flowing into innovative enterprise AI startups. Now, out of all these stories, the one that really demands our attention today is OpenAI's stark warning about AI enabled cyber attacks and their subsequent pause on frontier training. It's not often you hear a leading AI lab halt its core R&D to address a safety concern, is it? This story is far more than just a security advisory. It's a reprioritization of the entire AI roadmap for one of the most influential companies in the space. What happened is that Chris Lehane from OpenAI explicitly stated that current AI models are already enabling ongoing persistent cyber attacks. This isn't a hypothetical future threat, it's happening now. And the response from OpenAI wasn't just words, they actually paused the training of some of their cutting edge frontier models to implement stronger safety guardrails. Sam Altman's emphasis on prioritizing safety above all else, coupled with their call for mandatory national and international AI safety legislation, including pre deployment testing, paints a very clear picture. AI security has shifted from being a significant concern to an urgent paramount issue. Why this matters right now is that it fundamentally changes the risk landscape for anyone building with AI. We've seen other companies like Anthropic open up restricted models for defensive research with programs like their cyber verification program. But OpenAI's warning highlights the flip side. The accessibility of open source models, while beneficial for innovation, also broadens the attacker's toolkit, dramatically lowering the bar for sophisticated cyber threats. The idea that you need superior models for defense means that the arms race has just officially escalated, and you're now in a situation where your AI powered product isn't just solving problems, it could also be a target or even a vector for advanced persistent threats. So, who should really care about this? Well, almost everyone in our audience, frankly. If you're a founder running a SaaS product or any business that handles sensitive user data, payment information, or proprietary company secrets, you should absolutely care. You are a potential target, and your product's security posture just became even more critical to your long term viability. For bad product managers, this means security can no longer be an afterthought or a line item. It needs to be deeply integrated into the product roadmap from day one. You'll need to think about how your AI features might be abused and designed for resilience. If you're an infrastructure engineer, you're on the front lines. The traditional security models you've put in place might not be sufficient against AI enabled adversaries. You'll need to explore AI powered detection and response tools and harden your systems against more sophisticated adaptive attacks. And for basic indie hackers or those exploring AI side projects, even if your project seems small, if it touches any user data or integrates with other services, you need to understand these risks. The open source tools you love can also be turned against you. How I'd think about it as a builder, given this warning, is through a security as a first class citizen lens, not just for the code you write, but for the models you integrate. Imagine your product, or even just a small feature, as a castle. In the past, you built strong walls and gates. Now the enemy has advanced siege engines and spies who can mimic your guards perfectly, learn your routines, and adapt their attacks in real time. This isn't about building bigger walls, it's about having intelligent adaptive defenses within the castle and a rapid response team. It means proactively thinking about adversarial attacks, prompt injection, data poisoning, and model inversion. You also need to consider your entire supply chain of models and data. If a third party model you use is compromised, what's your exposure? It's about proactive threat modeling specific to AI. My no BS take on this is that while OpenAI's warning could certainly have an element of self interest, perhaps fueling calls for regulation that favors larger, more controlled models, the underlying threat is absolutely real. AI is a dual use technology. Just as it empowers builders to create, it also empowers malicious actors to attack with unprecedented scale and sophistication. Don't fall for security theater or get paralyzed by fear. Instead, focus on fundamental AI aware security practices and continuously adapt your defenses. If you want one practical takeaway from today's episode, here it is. Experiment. Audit your current model choices for their security implications. This isn't just about compliance, it's about practical risk management in an AI first world. Here's how to try it in under 30 minutes right now. First, list every AI model or API your product currently uses. This includes both the large foundation models and any fine tuned smaller models or even third party AI services. Second, for each listed model, identify the type of data it has access to. Is it sensitive customer data, proprietary business logic, or just public information? Also, assess its attack surface. Can users directly interact with it via prompts? Does it connect to other internal systems? Third, prioritize those models that touch sensitive systems or handle critical data. These are your immediate high risk areas where an AI enabled attack could have the most significant impact. Why this specific experiment is worth your time right now is because understanding your AI attack surface is the foundational step for any meaningful security improvement. With the warnings from OpenAI and Anthropic's new fund highlighting the immediate threat landscape, you simply can't afford to operate without this clarity. Knowing where your risks lie allows you to make informed decisions about implementing guardrails, choosing more secure models, or allocating your security budget effectively. It's about being proactive, not reactive, especially as the regulatory landscape for AI security starts to firm up. That's it for today's No BS AI briefing. If this helped, follow the show in your podcast app and share it with one builder you know. And if you've got questions or topics you want covered, connect with me on LinkedIn and send them over. See you in the next briefing.